Hey, what's up everyone? In this video, really excited to show you this awesome resource, this new mega menu template for the Canvas starter site. Now, obviously you can use this for any MyListing website that it is built and showcased on the Canvas starter site, both in light and dark mode, as I've done for all of the resources on that particular starter site. The inspiration for this was, if you look at the MyListing Club website, which is on my screen right now, and you look at the new navigation and mega menu up there, it's the same thing. That is what has inspired this. On the Canvas site, I built it from the ground up, to get both the light and the dark mode and to optimize it even further to the point where it works on mobile without any additional templates that it needs to call. I've seen a bunch of YouTubers trying to show this new feature off of Elementor, and I have yet to see one that has ever done it to the extent that I'm about to show you. They typically stop at the desktop view. That's because when you start getting into tablet and smaller devices, it gets very difficult. I've spent a lot of time doing this, so it's probably why in their videos they don't show that, because it's very hard to do. I'm not saying I'm better than them. I'm not saying I'm a wizard by any means. I'm just saying it's not easy, and I put a lot of time in to make it happen. Maybe somebody else has done it. I don't know. But anyway, so let's go ahead and check it out. From the resources menu of the MyListing Club website, we're going to go and click on Starter Sites. We're going to click on the Explore button to get down into the various starter sites available. We're going to click into Canvas. And a really important piece here, this section of this page, is the intro, build notes, and educational videos. So whether you are a Canvas starter site customer client already, or you are importing individual resources from the site, this section is extremely powerful. Okay, it's literally documentation of everything that I've done. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here and we're going to look for the mega header, mega menu. All right, and we're going to go through these notes right here together right now. I'm going to bring this over to my other screen just so I make sure I don't miss anything. I'm going to remove myself from the screen to get rid of that distraction and give me the most real estate I can give myself. Okay, so this resource is included with Canvas, but is inactive on the live website. Customers can activate these resources, this header, mega menu header, with just a few clicks. Let me show you what I mean by that. If we go into the back end and we scroll down, there is a new page called Resource Demos. And then I'm going to nest, going forward, I'm going to nest these resources under there that I want to show off that aren't available on the live website. Okay, so people will be able to view a live preview of all of this stuff, even though it's not actually active on the site. If you purchase the starter site and I don't help you build it, launch it, make it go live, that sort of thing, just be aware that I have marked these. I will always mark these pages as no follow, no index, so there's no SEO implications. You can come in here and just delete these pages if you want. There's nothing to worry about because there's a copy of all these templates on the Canvas site for you to use going forward. So you can delete these pages if you want, or just leave them because, like I said, they are no index, no follow. So no worries there. Okay, template highlights. First off, full width or boxed. So what do I mean by that? When you get in here, you have two options. This is actually two templates in one. So at the top here, we've got the boxed layout. So under the layout tab, we see boxed. That just means that it's going to fit along with the width of your content. And then next step down here is a completely separate template, if you will. This is using the full width mode. So this is, closer to what MyListing does out of the box, assuming you use full width, right? So this is the current Canvas full width default MyListing header. And as you can see here, it looks very similar. Obviously, different background colors and stuff, but it's very similar, especially in what we're talking about now is the width, right? Okay, so you got those two options. When you get this template, then you won't want both of these, right? So my advice is to just hover over the container. You can also, if you're not familiar, you can right-click anywhere within the Elementor editor and go to Navigator. That's going to bring up this navigator on the right-hand side, and you'll see two containers, boxed and full width. You can delete the entire container and everything, all of its contents underneath, depending on which one you want to use. Like I said, you always have the templates on the site backed up. So you're not going to ever lose anything. You can always get it back. All right, so you're going to come in here. Let's just say you want to get rid of box. You just click that X, you can delete it, and there you go. Okay, that is an option. I'm going to go ahead and just refresh this whole screen just in case. All right, sticky on scroll. So whichever one of these you go with, as you see, the bottom one currently is trumping the top one. That's just how it works. So obviously you're not going to have both of these, but you can see as you scroll, then it's going to stick to the top. All right. So that's what I mean by that. Dynamic direct messaging icon. This icon right here is the direct messaging icon. This is full functionality to mimic what MyListing does. So that's this guy right here. Okay. Click that. You've got that direct messaging in there. This is the exact same functionality. I've replaced the icon with something a little more modern. Let's go ahead and look at this page on the front end. There we go. You'll see the icon is a little bit smaller. There is one thing we're going to look at here in a bit. It's going to change this stuff a little bit, and that is the CSS packages. Right now we're just looking at the templates themselves and going through the notes for those. Okay, so what I mean by dynamic, there is a visibility tab because Dynamic OOO, also known as Dynamic Content for Elementor plugin, extremely powerful. It's included with every starter site. It's licensed. As you see here, we have the visibility option turned on, and we're saying, okay, let's turn on visibility. Let's hide this widget based on the trigger. So here's the triggers. I chose users and roles. That unlocks this users and role panel, and we're saying if the role is a visitor, user is not logged in other words, we are going to hide this direct messaging widget. Okay, that's set for both. Everything I'm going to say here is set for both of these header types, whether it's full or boxed. Okay, next up is the dynamic menu cart icon. Same principle. Click into that, go to the visibility tab. We are turning it on visibility. We are hiding this widget if the trigger is WooCommerce and that trigger says cart is empty. Okay, so we're going to hide this entire cart widget if nothing is in the shopping cart for the user. All right. Now, my Elementor does give you the option. We see here, hide empty. That does not do what you think it does. It does not hide the entire widget. It just has to do with the indicator, which is pretty much useless. They should find a way to hide the whole thing, but nevertheless, we have Dynamic OOO to save the day there. Okay, so again, to recap, both the direct messaging and the shopping cart widgets will be widgets will be completely hidden unless that the visibility rule kicks in. WordPress menus. This template will look for 3 menus. So what do I mean by that? So if we go expand menu here and we go into each of the 3 menus. So that's these guys right here. Okay. And don't worry about the design. The final design. We're gonna get to that in a minute. If you see something wonky, we're gonna fix that. Okay. But each of these menus calls upon a menu. This one calls Header Explorer. This one calls Header Platform. This one calls Header Account. Okay. So back in the back end of WordPress, we need to go to Appearance and Menus. And we see these 3 corresponding menus: Header Account, Header Explorer, Header Platform. And that's where these are built. They're built using, we're adding icons using the MyListings shortcode feature to create our icons and add those in here into our menus. You don't have to have these exact menus. You can call them whatever you want. But if you want to mimic exactly what I have done, this is what you need to do. So that is that. So all we're doing back here, we're saying, let's add the WordPress menu widget. Let's choose the menu that we want to call in there, and then that's going to populate it in our drop downs here. Okay. All right. So remember, I said let's finalize the design, make sure everything is buttoned up. For that, We got to go into WP code box or whatever it is that this is just how it's built on Canvas. You know, if you don't use WP code box, you're going to do it a different way, obviously. If you're not already familiar, everything on Canvas is light mode by default as far as the CSS goes and the templates. Okay, so we see that here. Dark mode, we go into the expand the dark mode folder, everything is turned off. Okay, we're still in light mode, but we need to enable one more CSS, one more code snippet, which is the code snippet that directly applies to this template right here, what we're doing here. Okay, so we'll go back into WP code box and we need to turn this on. You notice how it says optional. So that's clearly labeled in here. That's only if you're using it for the purposes we're doing here, okay? It buttons up the design and it does a couple other things, which we're gonna get into. So I'm gonna go ahead and refresh this now. You see how it's kind of a little wonky there? So let's go ahead and refresh this and we'll see the difference. There we go. So now this is all buttoned up. This all looks nice. Yeah, that all looks good. We see the cart there. This all looks good. Beautiful. And then this is all the same too. It's just a different layout as I've pointed out. Yeah. What else? Default, the MyListing direct messages icon. The default icon has been replaced with a cleaner looking icon that matches the design of the cart icon. So I've replaced this little heavier icon that MyListing uses by default with a lighter version that kind of matches the cart. So it's a cohesive look there. The MyListing direct messages counter. This counter is designed to match the design of Elementor's menu cart counter. So that's this counter right here. Okay. If and when there's messages that come in, the counter is going to look identical to this. Conversely, if you look at the way MyListing does it, they're going to put a little number, the little indicator down here that matches the way they do it here. Okay. So I'm just saying, hey, let's match all this stuff up, make it look cohesive. So long story short, this indicator you see here is going to look just the same on the direct message encounter. What's up next? listing promotion products. I overcame a bug with CSS, which is in the cart. The promotion packages, that particular product type with MyListing is not coming across as a link as you see here with their other listing packages. So the design wasn't the same. It wasn't this blue, or accent color. So I fixed that with some CSS. Hopefully long-term MyListing will fix this and make this an actual link. So it's just gets its styling automatically. Okay, WordPress menus, last menu item. If you look at the last menu item here, you'll notice it's a different color, it's a different design. So I've applied CSS to make that happen. Going back to our menus, we need to go to our last menu item. So whatever the last item is here in our menu, we give it a CSS class of header nav last item. Then in our CSS, we say, we just look for the word, you can do a search for last if you want. We see here, last submenu item, and I give you examples of what that is. Here's that CSS class. We're giving it a background color of our accent color, and then we're doing some other things, okay? So I wanted to point that out. To make that look the way that it does, we needed to add a class to our menu. To get that CSS class field exposed, you go up under Screen Options, and then click into this CSS classes option. So that's going to unhide that for you. Okay. WordPress menu items, icons. So all of these other menu items, if you expand those, they have a class of header nav. If we go into WP code box and we do a search for header nav in that snippet, okay, we see that we're doing some things here. All right. All right, that is that. That is it for the styling. Now let's just poke around a bit more here. We'll look at this on mobile. Okay, so desktop view, all looks good. Mobile, you'll see on tap, everything is in sync, syncs up. That all looks good. sure why that's not clicking there. Probably have something in the way on my screen. Let's just go to the front end here. Sometimes working with the Elementor editor is a bit wonky, so let's just do it this way. There we go. So I accidentally clicked. It's a little finicky. Like, you got to watch what you click. You have to click right on the arrows. Obviously, if you're on one of these devices, it's going to work much better. But when you're in the emulator, the editor, it's a little trickier. But here you see everything. Everything looks great. Cool. The same will be the case for this up here at the top. It just looks wonky because it's overlaying the top of this other one. You're not going to have both of these. But slide out cart looks great. This is going to link to the direct messaging feature. That's all good. Let's look at a phone here. Slide out cart looks great. This all looks good. This is the part right here, whether it's the tablet view or this mobile view, that I've never seen anybody pull off. So really, really cool stuff. Full functionality of the direct messaging, full functionality of a cart widget, all that good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at dark mode. All right, we'll look at the desktop view just real quick. That all looks good, looks good, looks good. Cart looks good. That all looks good. All right, let's go ahead and check mobile. That looks good. That looks good. And that looks good. Cart looks good. Direct messaging. If you're wondering why this isn't in dark mode, that's because you have to enable Canvas's global CSS package for dark mode, and that'll look just fine. If you're not familiar with that, I'll quickly show you. So by default, everything is in light mode, so we toggle off the global light mode. CSS package, the global package is what controls all of our colors. Okay, so now if I go here and I turn the global dark on, and we refresh the page, that should be dark, no problem. There we go. So that all looks great. All right, I'm gonna go back in here and turn light mode back on. Okay, that's good. And finally, let's look at phone, and I believe I'll be able to get you out of here. Shopping cart, that all looks great. Menus, looks great. Looks great. Looks great. All right, guys. I think that's it. Trying to think last second here if there's anything I'm not thinking of I need to tell you. I think we've covered everything. This is the last thing I'll say is if you've on the fence about the MyListing Club community, this is where it really, really is going to pay off. If you come in here, let's say you pull in these templates and you have a question about anything, or you have suggestions or recommendations, or you want me to test something, that's where we're going to do it. We're all going to do it together. You just drop your question in there or your issue, and we're going to work through it together. It's the power of that club community. Definitely check that out. Yeah, can't stress that enough. But I think I've got everything covered in here. Really excited about this one. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.